Oh, I thought you said you're on.
Yeah, we are. Threw me for a loop.
I know.
Boy, I'll tell you. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday morning. Welcome to Morning in the Mountains again with Story Time with Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Yeah,
We're so delighted to be here.
Happy summer.
And happy summer, that's right. We're back. We're officially in summer now.
Summertime now,
oh my gosh.
And let me tell you, all the elves up at the North Pole are so happy with that because now we've got a lot of daylight up there as well. So,
in fact, the sun never sets now.
That's right.
It literally goes 24 hours a day.
So they're happy.
So,
they're happy.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of work done now.
They are.
Except they keep complaining they don't know when lunch is anymore.
Well, that's true.
It is a problem. But we have an extremely special show for you today. We have in our room right over here, I can throw and hit him, Elvis Presley. Yes, the one, the only, brought back.
Yeah.
He's here with us today, and you're going to get to meet him in just a moment. I mean, delightful young man who is an Elvis impersonator and plays and there he is. Say good morning, Mr. Stewart Chapman.
Good morning, everybody.
I mean, can you look at that coif and tell me, is that not Elvis?
I know.
My gosh. So how have you been, Stewart? I understand you're in town for a little while and doing an Elvis show here. In fact, you've got one at 2 o'clock today.
Yeah, that's correct, which I never thought I'd be in the same room with Santa and Mrs. Claus. That's pretty incredible, I must say, right off the bat.
I got to say, it's pretty incredible to be sitting in the same room as Elvis.
With Elvis,
Likewise, yeah.
I mean, he always asked me for a lot of stuff, and
that
pink
but
Cadillac.
I just saw his tree. I never saw him. So give us a little idea. What is it like to play the king? I mean,
oh man, it's a really great experience because Elvis, he has such a way. His charisma and his mannerisms and things are just, they're so outspoken that they just draw you in. So being able to recreate that and to give people a memory of something that they can take back with them for years to come, to me and myself is one of the most amazing honors to be able to do. I would say it's by far the funnest, and I wouldn't even call it a job, but the funnest thing that I get to do on a daily basis.
What's the most challenging thing you find about playing Elvis? And I take it you're like me wherever you go, you're recognized.
Yes. Well, one of the most challenging things is probably the voice. It's trying to recreate that voice because Elvis had such a smooth velvet soft voice, and he could be powerful when he needed to be, and he could be soft when he needed to be. So trying to find that in between is a huge challenge. So I'm constantly having to listen and go back and say, okay, how did he sing this line here, or oh, he's going a little bit softer here in this verse than he does in this one. So that's the biggest challenge, is the voice.
And of course you do that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to, I think we're both going to say the same thing.
It
is your voice.
It is, yes.
Yes, so,
it is.
So that is your voice. You actually sing all of his songs.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, you don't lip sync or anything like that.
Nope.
This is your voice that you're doing. So, I understand you're having terrific success at the theater. Why don't you tell us where you're at and exactly and a little bit about your show.
So an opportunity came up recently where I was called back in to work as a fill-in for Main Event. And what they do is they have a 2 p.m. matinee show. And that show takes the people back to the 50s and the 60s of Elvis's career when he was young and fresh and just getting started with Hound Dog and Don't Be Cruel and things like that. And then we transitioned that. Elvis went into the Army. He comes out of the Army. He's more familiar with the crowds. He's worked with people. He's kind of got his name established. And now we're in the boom 68 comeback special, NBC, the black leather. People are going crazy. They're having a great time. Matter of fact, we've actually, I would say we've almost tripled our amount of people that have been coming to participate and experience the Elvis show.
Wow, that's a big jump.
It is.
It says a lot about you.
Oh.
So.
Well, and we just like to, of course, recognize some people that are joining us live this morning. And so good morning, Lori, Kristen Gadd. Good to have you back
how
again.
Are things in Kentucky?
Yeah. And Jack Burford from Chevrolet. We love Santa Claus and Elvis. And
how could you do better than that?
Well, and we even, of course, have Stewart is sharing as well. So we really appreciate you joining us.
And
here
Evelyn
this morning.
Stonehill is watching.
Yeah.
Hi, Evelyn.
Nice to see you, Evelyn.
Hello. She's great. She's come to my shows multiple occasions.
Oh, well, cool.
Good.
Very
Well,
cool.
we're glad that you are joining us here this morning. So
Now, and actually, Stewart's an amazing entertainer. Why don't you tell him about some of the awards he's won? He's incredible.
Last year, Stewart said that in 2019 at Lake George, New York, you were the 50s Division Pro Champion. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
There was 46 competitors in all, and they divide them into groups with the 70s, and then they do the 50s and the 60s division. So I decided to stay, since I'm a younger fella, I decided to stay more with the 50s and the 60s era because they're a stronger point for me.
Right.
And keep in mind, I hadn't competed in 2 years. I had not been to any contest in 2 years, and I just took it on a whim to go up there. And after the second half of the show, there was just this energy in the room like I had never felt before. And I came back that evening, and I looked on the paper, and they had listed the top 5 finalists, and I said, "Oh, you got to be kidding!" So I looked again to make sure they didn't put somebody's name on.
Was your name on there?
Well, there's another guy that was in those finals. His name is Bruce, and his last name is Stewart.
Oh.
So I thought maybe they put his name twice or something. But lo and behold, it was my name, and I was told that the guy who does the show was going to be watching me in the audience during the
little
finals.
pressure there.
Like no pressure there. So anyway, so the finals go through, and it was great. They call each contestant back up onto the stage, and they introduce him from 5th place on up.
Sure.
Well, when they got down to the last 2 people, of course it had to be me and Bruce Stewart. and the producer looks, the MC goes, he's like, "In 2nd place, and $800, and there's a video of it online, and I'll reshare that video too sometime. And he says, "And I really got to go to the bathroom," and he starts to walk off, and everybody's like, no, because our suspense is up.
Of course.
So he comes back, and he's like, "2nd place, $800 goes to Bruce Stewart, and your winner and champion, Mr. Stewart."
Wow.
I fell to my knees. I was like, what in the world is going on? And then I was very shocked because there was so many guys there, and they're so good. There was a lot of heavy competition there.
Sure.
And the next thing I know, not only did I win that, I took 3rd place in Fans' Choice that year as well.
Wow.
So
that's
it was
great.
just an amazing experience, which has has done a tremendous amount for me.
Well, sure.
And
That'll increase your confidence
I
a
was
great
just-
deal.
yeah.
Mrs. Claus and I know all about increasing confidence.
Confidence
we go.
builders, yeah. I mean,
And
well,
yet,
that's-
as
yeah.
great as a story as that is, that doesn't even hold a candle
For this year.
for this
So,
year.
Yeah.
This year, for the 2020 International Elvis Tribute Artist, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! what an honor that is.
Oh,
so
it was.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, so basically what had happened was a fan of mine, not sure which one it was, I think they wanted to remain anonymous, and they said they had found out that they were doing this where they had inducted some ETAs or Elvis tribute artists in the Hall of Fame, and they had mentioned my name. Well, the producers that run this said, well, yeah, we'll go check this kid out, which they did, and they approved almost immediately. And the next thing I know, I got a phone call from them, and they said, we have some great news. How would you like to be nominated for a Elvis Tribute Artist Hall of Fame? I said, well, that'd be great. He said, great, we'll call you back. So
No, don't put my name
Yeah,
in,
don't put
please.
my
I'm
name
not
in.
interested in that, for
So-
crying out loud.
so they called me back in a matter of minutes, and they're like, the producer loved what he saw. He said, you're the perfect candidate, and I was put in the hall.
Inducted.
I got it. So
Well, congrats.
it was,
Now, I got to tell you, our main producer here for Mountain Fun Life is asking, could we get just a little song? A little, your choice?
sure.
You can pick any song you want, but we got to hear a little of that
and
famous
you know that is
Elvis
true. You can't
voice.
have Elvis on the show
without a little
Without something,
Feel
so-
free to belt away or
Okay.
you know,
whatever.
do
Yeah,
whatever.
it just
Let's see here.
yeah.
What are you in the mood for?
Well, this one has been in my head a lot, and it's one of the younger Elvis songs, but it's also a song from his movie career, and it was King Creole. And I love
Yes,
that
I
song,
remember
and
that.
there's actually a cool video on YouTube called the Viva Elvis track that they recreated with that, and it's like, let's see. There's a man in the leaves that plays a rock and roll. He's a guitar man with a great big soul. He lays down beating like a ton of coal. He goes by the name of King Creole. You know he's gone, 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 and jumping like catfish on a pole. Yeah, you know it's gone, 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 and it's like a King Creole.
Wow!
Well, if that doesn't get you to a show, I
my
don't know
gosh.
what would. I mean, that's fabulous. Boy, Stewart, that's incredible. It gives me goosebumps.
It gives me too. I was just going to say the same thing.
I do
got
have
goosebumps.
And you do. You get the mannerism. I could see the shoulders working,
Yeah.
and you were
Well,
just.
and
you were
close your
just getting
eyes
into
and
it.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're there.
You look so much like him anyway.
Thank you.
And the other thing I wanted to just say really quickly on
Yeah.
that Hall of Fame, Stewart is, as you can tell, is a young man. And you're only, what did you say? You were just 28?
28 years old.
So, what an honor and accomplishment at 28. And you've been doing Elvis for how long professionally?
6 years.
6 years. I mean, that's pretty good.
I mean, when you
that's-
figure that Elvis won his Lifetime Achievement Grammy Award at 36, you got him beat by almost 8 years. So
That's true. That's true.
and of course, and we also notice it, and our executive producer notices too. He's such a humble young man, and I got to tell you, we were talking before the show, and he's just a delightful young man, and just he really gets into what
Yeah.
he's doing,
Yeah.
and he's recently married. He's only been
No,
married
he's not
3
married
years.
yet. No, he's in
Oh,
a relationship.
in a relationship.
Yes.
That right.
I'm sorry. See, I've already
Don't
got
rush
a
me,
ring on
Santa.
your Well, Chloe told me what she wanted for Christmas.
This is the perfect opportunity to get that free pass to build a toy in your workshop.
You've been after that. We'll see what we can do.
All right.
But anyway, yes, and again, his not only his looks and mannerisms and what he's done, but he sings all the various things. You do gospel.
Yes, absolutely.
You do country.
We do the country. We do the gospel. We cover it all. I would say, well, of course we do Christmas.
Well,
so we do.
You better.
Yeah, right.
You gotta have an Elvis Christmas, don't you? I mean, yeah.
Oh, and you know which one I love the most?
Here Comes Santa Claus. Is that the one?
No.
What's that?
Blue Christmas.
Blue Christmas. I'll have a blue Christmas without you.
Perfect.
There it is.
There you go. Yeah, I listen to that every year.
Oh, yeah.
Many times.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to be taking a break shortly, but before we do, I also want to bring your attention that Stewart has his own website, and I have that up, and it is Stewart Chapman Elvis.wixsite.com. So
It's kind of long. but
it's kind of long, or you can find him on Facebook,
Yes, if they go
which might
to
be easier.
Stewart Chapman Entertainer and click the like button, they'll find out all the information. And down below, where they have all the descriptions and the about, it'll have a link to that website, and they can click on it and check it out.
Good.
Well, and before we go off, I got to
Yeah,
say,
we got
Felicia
some
Moyer Sexton is watching, along
Yes.
with Myra and Andrea.
And
So-
we've got Cecilia Nelson.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Cecilia, how are you?
Yes,
Good to
thank
see
you
you.
all
Thank
for
you
joining
for joining us
and
this morning.
Don't leave, because
Yeah,
we're
we got some
this
more.
This
is
is
going to be a little
different.
more special treat, and we got
Yes.
some more information for you that we're
Yeah.
going to let you in on.
We're mixing
we're
this
making
up a
little
little bit,
changes,
so don't go away, and we'll be back just in a couple minutes.
Just in a flash.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Joe Moore, TV host on Mountain Fun Life Channel and the international multi-award winning author. As co-host of Storytime with Santa and Mrs. Claus, I draw on my writings describing the North Pole and all its adventures from my Santa Claus trilogy. Each book in the set will provide you hours of thrilling, delightful fantasy that will return you to being a child again. Available in hardcover, softcover, or digitally, these books can be purchased wherever fine books are sold, or if you want an autographed copy, through the NorthPolePress.com. Pick up one or all three of the books and believe again.
Welcome back.
Boy, and we've just been having so much fun talking back and forth with Stuart.
Yeah.
And it really is amazing. And that leads to some information that we have to give you about our show.
Yes.
So, as
Yes.
you know, we came aboard in March.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
My gosh, we've been doing
Wow,
this for a little while now.
yeah.
But anyway, and we've been doing story time with Santa
Yes,
and
we
Mrs.
have.
Claus, but now there's so many other things, and we've had so much fun meeting some of the great
Yeah,
entertainers and seeing some of the terrific attractions and stuff. And we've decided that we're going to spend more time down in the Smoky Mountains here.
We
We
yes.
got everything going up just fine up north in the North
Yep.
Pole. All the elves are doing what they
Yeah.
need to do. So,
Carol Check It Twice is in charge, and he's taking care of everything.
so we're
yeah.
very blessed. We get to play for
Yeah,
a
we do.
while, which is something we don't always get.
No.
But there's so many people that we want to meet, and so many things that we want to do, and so many places we want to go.
Yeah.
You know, Frank and Kira can't have all
well,
the
and
fun.
that's true.
I mean, my goodness.
Because we were watching them and going,
You know, I want to go there. You know. So we are making a little transition here, and we are changing the format a little bit.
We
We're also even going to change our name. So instead of Story Time with Santa and Mrs. Claus, we are now going to be called A Visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus, because we have some great people visiting us.
Just like this morning.
Just like Stewart Chapman.
Yeah, it's so nice to have him here this morning. So so we're gonna, and then we, with our book reading, we may or may not be reading a book. So this morning we're not. Because
if we can get great people like Stewart in, we don't have time to read a book too. So we're more interested in talking to Stewart.
Yeah. So changing it up a little bit, and then the other exciting. We're not done.
Nope, that isn't
More
all.
Exciting stuff.
We've been thinking about families that come to the Smoky Mountains and how they bring their kids, and their kids are an important part of the Smoky Mountains up here, and there's an awful lot of places that cater to kids very well and almost exclusively.
Yeah, and really the Smokies, I know for a lot of families, are considered to be a family place to go to.
Very family oriented.
More reasonable, and we're like we're within a 24-hour ride, I think, to most of the eastern states anyway. So it draws a lot of people from a lot
less
of
than
different
that.
areas.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness, you can make it down in about 8 hours from almost anywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting back to this, so we want to concentrate on places that are particularly kid-friendly. And when I say that, we have come up, Mrs. Claus and I have come up with a set of criteria that we're going to be visiting places and looking at. And they basically have to do with safety. In other words, does the facility exercise a reasonable size, weight, age restriction, that kind of thing for their attractions, to protect the young ones? Do they have an adequate lost and found service?
And that's, we don't ever like to think about that, but that's true. You
gotta have that
if
in
your
place.
little one goes astray, you want to know that they have something in place for them. Yeah.
And is a staff observant of young children? Are they helping you watch your kids and that kind of thing?
Right.
The next thing would be age appropriateness.
Yes.
Does the attraction have information and attractions geared toward children? I mean,
yeah.
there are some attractions here that are strictly adults.
Yes. Great.
And that's great. You need that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and we enjoy those as well. Because
we do.
Sometimes we even act like adults.
Yeah. Not always, but once in a while.
Once in a while we have to. But, is it too scary for kids, or is it, is it geared only toward older children?
Right.
So that we look at. Is it family friendly?
Yes.
Of course. Are there areas and activities that are geared specifically toward younger children, which a lot of these attractions have some great children's activities.
They really do.
And really geared toward, and when we say younger, we're talking like pre-K to 9.
Yeah.
So we're not looking at toddlers, but certainly,
that would benefit from
exactly
different activities out
and
here.
then activities and attractions, are they fun and engaging for the kids?
Right.
Will they spend a lot of time on them? Can they play with them for a while without getting bored? Are they educational? Do they get anything out of it, or do they get social skills out of it? Can they learn to interact with others? All of these things are important, and that goes along with socially stimulating. And right now it's kind of tough because we still have a lot of COVID-19 things in place.
Right.
So we kind of weigh that. But we're looking at these attractions, and you know what? If we find attractions that we really like and that we think are special for kids, and Hannah, if you'll put it up on the screen over here, we have a new certificate that we're going to award those attractions called the Mountain Fun Life Santa Seal of Approval. And there it is. And so now this one is blank. obviously, because we haven't
Right.
decided who to present it to. So, however, as you can see, we're going to be leaving them this certificate, which is going to let you as parents know that this is a family-friendly, kid-friendly place to visit, and that your kids are going to have fun, they're going to be safe, and they're going to really enjoy their time there.
Yeah.
So, and we are going to be going around, and we're going to be talking with different businesses and attractions to see. But,
Well,
you know, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I'm just going to say, one of the things that we are hoping that you, as parents or grandparents, can get from this is quickly identify that a particular attraction has gotten our approval, so you don't have to maybe do some extra research
Or
something
worry about
to see
whether or not
if it's appropriate for children. So that's one of the things we're hoping is that you can quickly identify and say, oh, this has been approved. This is good.
And so we're absolutely going to be visiting places and trying to figure out if they meet the criteria for this certificate. And we're going to award it to them if they do, very happily. So be watching for this, because we're going to encourage them to put this seal up that, you know, you're going to see. And speaking of, you know, I mean, talking with Stewart this morning, and we were actually talking about, now he did not know we were asking specific questions for a reason, but it turns out that Stewart's show has a lot of great things that involve the kids, and of course the music and everything. And even though they're young, I mean, some of these kids already know this. Stewart, would you say that a lot of these kids know some of the music that you sing, or are at least familiar with it? Or tell us a little bit about the kids' interaction that you were talking about earlier.
Oh, absolutely. Well, folks, we have people all the time who are constantly coming up with their kids, and the kids are coming, look, Mommy, it's Elvis, and they're wanting pictures, they're wanting autographs, they're wanting, and you know, and all these things, and they'll say, I love that song you did. Like one little girl, her name is Harper. She's one of I call her my littlest, biggest fan, and she really is, because last night we went over there and we spent some time with them, and we had a wonderful evening with her grandparents, and she'd been dying to have Elvis come and hang out with her, and we went out and got ice cream.
Oh, how fun! Oh my gosh!
So she was
now there's a memory she is never going to forget.
There you go. Yeah. And so what we did was, she said, "Can you sing my favorite song?" I said, "What is your favorite song, sweetheart?" She said, "Stuck on You." I'm like, wow. You know, you didn't just pick one that you hear all the time. She actually picked something that was out of the repertoire, which I was blown away by. And then
see,
the kids get up.
Pay attention. We don't always give them credit for that, but they
really
attention.
do. And they get up and they'll dance. They'll get up in the and they dance in the aisle, and then you know, every once in a while, you know, right now it's kind of hard with the COVID, you know, but you know, hopefully once some of the restrictions are up, you know, we even occasionally get them on stage, and
that'd be fun.
They love it. I mean, because what better way to be on stage with Elvis? You know,
absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, so as he said, and you know, we were looking at this, and I got to tell you, I think he gets 5 candy canes for the effort that he put forward.
I think so. And we actually are not going to move around right now because we're kind of attached with these little microphones. But Santa and I are pleased
and proud.
And I don't know if we can show this or not.
We'll get kind of a good idea.
Oh, there we go.
There. So
you may not be able to see it quite as clearly.
Trust me, it's filled in.
Yeah.
But this is going to Stewart Chapman Entertainer.
Yes.
As an officially designated kid-friendly attraction, and has the Mountain Fun Life Santa seal of approval. So congratulations,
Congratulations,
Stewart. This is for you.
Yeah.
And we will get you the permanent one.
Thank you
as
so
we can
much.
get it printed out. But again, thank you for entertaining
Yes,
and
yes.
especially for keeping kids in mind in your show
Yes.
and being a part of that. So
Oh,
congratulations.
absolutely. Thank you
We're
so much. That's
very proud to give
Yes,
that to
totally
you. So-
unexpected. Oh, woo, wow. Thank you so
So
much.
that's the kind of thing you're going to be seeing
Yes.
in our shows
Yep.
going forward.
Yep.
And, you know, again, Stewart's a great young man, and he's only going to be here a few more days, and then
Right.
he'll be back, I'm sure, because they're going to have him back.
Yes.
But by all means, try and catch one of his last shows before he leaves. When is your last show, Stewart?
You know, that's a good question. I know I'm going to be here the rest of this week, so I'm going to be here at least until Saturday.
Okay.
So we'll go with Saturday for now,
Okay.
and it's 2 p.m. Now the cool thing is, if let's say somebody really wants to come to the show, but they're not able to come the day they would like to, they might want to come another day. They can go ahead and purchase the tickets now, and still come to the show the day they're wanting to
There
come.
you go.
Okay.
And they don't even have to pay. Then they can actually pay the day of the show.
Oh,
good.
wow. Oh,
And they'll
so they can reserve it.
They
and
can
then pay
reserve
when they
it.
come.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And
Well,
see,
there
no
you-
other place does that. in the
You
Smith.
have no excuse not to go see
Well,
Stewart
Yes, and
at this theater. So
go to his Facebook, because he'll be obviously posting updates of where he's going to be in the future.
and if you don't know where the main event theater is, that's where they also have the Conway Twitty
Yes.
tribute.
That is.
Yeah.
And
Great
it's
show.
right here in the Red Roof Mall, in the back of the theater.
Yes.
And it's actually pretty close to Mountain Fun Life.
It is
so.
right next door, right next door. And we just want to say hello to Marty Lance.
Oh, hey,
Uh,
Marty watching?
He says,
Okay.
hello, Stewart Chapman, miss seeing you.
I miss you as well.
Lori has said congratulations. And
thank you, Lori.
Marty again said, I can understand why everyone loves Stewart Chapman.
Yeah, well, there you go.
How nice is that?
Testimonials from somebody other than the room
Absolutely,
here.
absolutely.
So by all means, again, catch Stewart's show if you can. So
And just before we leave, because I
Okay.
think this refers to you, Jean Honecker Darnell says, Little Miss Harper loves you, and so do I.
that must be your littlest
that
fan.
little? That's the one. So there we go. How nice.
Well,
How
I'll
nice.
tell you, Miss Harper, I have a funny feeling you might be getting an Elvis doll for Christmas. So,
Might just.
well, that just about does it for
Yeah.
us for today.
Yes.
And by all means, you want to stay right here at Mountain
Yeah.
Fun Life
Yeah.
every morning, because we are having some tremendous guests, and everybody is having fun.
We are.
meeting
We
new,
are
new
having-
peop-
having a good
new
time,
places,
and-
new people.
And
So-
thank you again,
helps you
Stewart. We're glad that you were able to join us.
And until next week, stay blessed and stay safe. Thank you all for joining us. Bye-bye.